And now it's time for Leadership of the Leaf with Dice and Austin. Let's jump in with a cut and a light.
Welcome to another episode of Leadership of the Leaf. I am Dice.
And I'm Austin.
All right, Mr. Austin, we got a pretty good show today. We're going to talk about aging cigars and how to tell if they're fresh. And our leadership segment is a little different this time because we're going to be talking about followership.
Followership?
There you go. Hey.
You all right over there?
Oh, I'm plenty good. Hold on.
There's the Hennessy. Hey. So, all right, what fresh cigar are you smoking on then?
My friend, I am smoking a Room 101 Doomsayer.
Ooh, the aggressive or passive?
Aggressive!
Yeah, of course you would be aggressive, wouldn't you? Ooh. You have to let me know how it is. That Doomsayer passive is pretty good. And of course you're pairing it with Hennessy, right?
Yes. Hennessy privilege.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. You look like you're having a little bit of problem over there keeping that thing lit, though.
Yeah, it's aggravating. Yeah, it went out again.
Well,
jet plane.
I am over here smoking on the Dunbarton Sin Compromiso.
All right. I know that's one of your faves.
It is one of my favorites, so getting to smoke it for the purposes of this show is just a bonus.
What are you pairing that with, my good sir?
I am pairing this with a Dewar's blended Scotch whiskey, but it's Caribbean because it's a rum cask finish.
Oh. Always come with the heat.
Deliciously smooth. Deliciously smooth. You want to know how I picked up this bottle?
Accident?
The label. I was looking, and the off blue of the label caught my eye because you don't normally see that in scotches and stuff. And so I took a look at it, and I was like, "Ooh,
a unique color."
This catch my eye, so I decided to give it a try, and I have enjoyed it.
You said it was smooth, right? Looks amazing.
Very smooth. It is delicious. I would offer you some.
I would assume it pairs well with.
Yes.
Pairs
yes. Well. The chocolatey smoothness of the Sin Compromiso with a little bit of spice and I'd say spicy, maybe a little bit of I definitely taste the rum because it's like a spiced rum, but the smoothness of the scotch and the spiciness of the rum, it's really helping. It's being complemented by the chocolate and the cigar.
That was a great pairing. I'm not even smoking and drinking what you know, and I already know that's a great pairing.
See? You gotta come down. Gotta open up your senses.
There's nothing wrong with a little Hennessy.
Okay. Never.
Lot of Hennessy.
Lot of Hennessy. I would say I would agree with you with a little bit of Hennessy, but let's be honest. We're not doing a little bit.
One day I will surprise our listeners and I will drink something different. But until then,
I know what he's gonna drink, people. I know what he's gonna do. I got the answers to the test. I know it. Ask me.
All
right, let's get into this. Aging cigars and how to tell if they're fresh.
All right. There's several different ways. Right?
Okay. Yeah. So let's start off. Let's start off by figuring out if the cigar is fresh, because if we don't have fresh cigars, we're not going to want to smoke the cigars, right? That's just common sense.
Yeah, that's almost Cigar 101. And I know a lot of people probably don't do it. I don't know why, but I do it even if I'm not trying to see if they're fresh, just because I like the smell of cigars to begin with. You want to smell your cigar.
Yes. You should not get a stale, moldy, musty scent, especially from the foot of the cigar, because that just tells you that something is probably wrong on the inside of your cigar.
Correct.
There's a reason why all the cartoons of the rich guys with the sniff under the nose and they run it under their nose and sniff the cigar. They're telling if it's fresh. Now, don't be like those cartoons and run it directly under your booger-laden fucking nose when you have a cold and you're dripping on the cellophane and all this other stuff. And it's even worse if it doesn't have cellophane.
And then you put it back for someone else.
Nasty-ass assholes.
Oh, that shit's funny.
Pisses me the hell off.
Yeah, I enjoyed a good smell of a cigar.
Oh, yeah, great smell of a cigar. My wife loves the smell of unlit tobacco. She thinks that she always smells them. She's like, oh, that smells really good. This one smells like this. And I'm like, why don't you come smoke one with me? And she goes, no, I don't like the smell of them when they're lit. And I'm like, how does that make sense in your mind? But it does to her. So
another good way to tell if they're fresh is by pinching. Not like fucking St. Patrick's Day, you're not wearing green pinch, but just a little on the end, just a little pinch, just to see if there's some crackling, see if it's kind of dry, where it's lost some of its oils.
I pinch and roll. So especially like I'll take my cigar and I'll pinch it in different areas and I'll just kind of roll it back and forth and I'll just listen for a little bit of a crack. And if I don't hear anything and it's nice and you can kind of feel you can feel the cracking underneath your fingers and stuff like that. You may want to put that one back and let it be humidified a little bit more. Maybe it just got done shipping. Maybe you went on a long trip and it was in your travel humidor and wasn't really humidified all that well. Who knows?
Yeah, check your settings. Make sure you're on the rule of thumb area of 70-70. You figure out your house with a good humidity for it.
Mm-hmm. Vita packs.
Yes.
Help out a ton.
Another good way. Well, I guess if you're at this point, you're kind of dead in the water, but by tasting it.
Yeah, this one. Okay.
It should probably been last.
100% it should have been. But I'll put it this way. If you're going to taste the cigar to see if it's fresh, make sure you fucking cut it first, you nasty people who use a community cutter after it's been in your slobbery mouth. Yeah.
Yes, please. Oh. We had a whole episode about that. I actually seen it last weekend.
Lord.
I told the tobacconist, the cigar, the brick and mortar person behind the counter, I was like, yeah, you might want to switch that out or something.
Yeah, and if you're a brick and mortar person and somebody tells you that happened or you see that happen, take a nice Lysol wipe it down, and then don't let anybody use it for a while that all dries and goes away so then they don't get, this cigar is lemony fresh.
Oh, that would suck. Oh, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that happen. I'm like, that doesn't make it. You didn't make it better. yeah. You stopped him from getting the germs of other douche nozzle or whatever. But now his cigar's lemony fresh. Thanks, guy.
Yeah, good looking out.
Yeah, now he's inhaling Lysol because that's always helpful. The last thing you want to do is you want to look at it. Mold. Not getting into plume versus mold, but mold will happen in an environment where the cigar is too humid or too warm, right? Mold likes dark, damp, humid places, hot, humid places to grow. Your humidor can be that thing if you let it get too hot and it's too humid in your house or in your humidor. Today, Junior.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry, it's all good. What one thing to kind of note about Plume doesn't leave any stains on your cigar. So if you're slightly confused and you don't do all the research and you wipe the little white powdery stuff off your cigar and it leaves a stain, more likely than not, it's mold.
Yeah. And especially if it happens, plume doesn't really happen in the foot of the cigar. It usually happens on the outside, the wrapper, because it's oils that are crystallizing. Got it. So if you look at the foot and you see white specks inside your foot of your cigar, it's more than likely mold.
But plume versus mold, a whole nother episode.
Don't even want to get into it.
Well, now we have several ways to figure out if our cigar is fresh. Now, I want to age them, sir.
Ooh. Now, all right, so what's the benefit of aging a cigar?
Well, I know if you have like a super strong, full-bodied cigar, and it's like, this last time I smoked one, it was a little too strong, you can age it for a little while, and what that does is it lets the cigar become milder profile.
Yeah. It's the same kind of thought process as to aging whiskey, scotch, wine. It usually smooths out the harshness, mixes those flavors, and mellows everything out. Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for.
You're welcome. and sometimes by aging a cigar, I've smoked a cigar. I got after month one after having it. Then I took that same cigar and I aged it for 2 years. And you and me smoked the cigars that I aged for 2 years.
Beautiful. And
they were, I can tell you it was a night and day difference. It was smooth, nice. I got so much more of the subtle notes of the flavors because they had a chance to kind of intermingle and be brought out a little bit. So aging is a good thing to do. If you can and have the patience for it, do it. But remember, if you're going to age the cigar, there's some rules to do it, right? So premium cigars already come a little bit aged.
Yes.
When they're stacked in the pilones and the piles, right, and the stacks in the humidor down in Nicaragua, Havana, wherever they're being built, right?
Right.
When they're stacked in the pilones, they are already like getting fermented. They're already being aged somewhat. They'll do that for a year, up to a year in the aging process, couple years, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're already somewhat aged before they even make it to you. So if you're wanting to age them further, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you got to kind of follow a few steps.
I guess step one is probably one of the most important. Is you want to make sure you have a quality humidor that maintain a consistent conditions of humidity and temperature.
Right. So that could be a Tupper door. That could be your like me, I have a cooler door. That could be a desktop humidor. That could be a glass top humidor. It could be whatever. But you got to make sure you maintain those conditions. Usually you want to throw some Spanish cedar in there. Even if it's a Tupper door, throw a slab of Spanish cedar at the bottom because it will help. Everything helps with the Spanish cedar. It helps absorb a little extra moisture, release a little extra moisture. It just helps with humidity control and taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't want to overfill it. You want to leave at least about 20% of space or 50% of space, depending on how much room you want to get. But rule of thumb is probably about 20% is the best space you want to leave.
Right. And I will say that a humidor that is less than half filled is not good. You will lose humidification like nobody's business. You want to have at least, I usually shoot from somewhere between 30 to 50% full at all times. That way your cigars breathe. It can, share a little bit of the humidity. You're not over humidifying one depending on your humidification process. You're not under humidifying them. It just helps it out a lot better.
AKA maintain that consistent conditions. If that's what you're planning on doing, aging. I mean, that's a good rule of thumb altogether. But if you're aging, it's definitely a Disney must do.
Yeah, and then an average humidity of around 68 to 70%.
Yeah, that's one of them that you kind of gotta gauge where you live. I know you're in the Panhandle of Florida, which is going to be fucking vastly different from the deserts of Las Vegas.
What? The swampland is different than the desert? I think I just learned something in geography, folks.
Oh, there we go. Natural born leader right there.
Natural born leader, yeah. So, yeah, do that. The humidity, you got to play around with it. I would not attempt aging your cigars until you've had your humidor consistently able to maintain humidity, temperature, all of those sorts of things for at least probably like 6 months.
Yes.
Just so that way you get that, hey, I got a good baseline. I know what the hell I'm doing. You're not some guy out the gate that just got handed a cigar and lit it up and try to inhale without even cutting the tip off.
So my question before we move further on is, how is your first third?
Oh, my first third is delicious.
I don't see that on the flavor wheel, sir.
Getting chocolate, cocoa specifically, with hints of earthiness and a little bit of black pepper on the back end.
Oh.
Which is pairing very well with this Caribbean spice and the Scotch whiskey. It's just delicious.
Got it. Yes, I think you made a match in heaven right there. That should be written down in like all the textbooks.
What can I say? I'm a trendsetter, so to say.
I am getting cocoa like you. It's kind of fading, and dried fruit they're both very strong at the beginning, but they're fading. And cedar is more of a predominant in the forefront right now.
Interesting. Are you getting a little bit? Are you getting more pepper notes at all?
I haven't really got pepper yet. Not yet.
Interesting, because I'm just wondering, like,
because it says aggressive, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking aggressive. Maybe I'm thinking aggressive in a different way. But I guess we'll find out.
That's good.
So there's a process to do it kind of by the box. So if you buy a box of cigars in boxes of, let's just say 10, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because that's a fairly standard. I mean, how many people are going out there and buying boxes of 25 or 40? Good Lord. More power to y'all. But you could let them rest, smoke one, take your cigar journal out, which you guys should be keeping. If you don't have one, it's an important thing to do. Give yourself some notes. Give yourself a date. Hell, keep it in your phone, in your notes page. That's what I always did. And then let it rest in those consistent conditions, 3 to 4 months. Try another one. Go a year, try another one. Just keep going. Don't go past 10 years, please, because that's you're increasing the chance for molds. The more you go, the longer you go, the more chance you have for mold to develop if you're not careful.
Well, I mean, if you go past that 10-year mark, you're trying to make them more mild, more mellow, as the word I was looking for earlier. Once you go past that 10-year mark, it's not going to be mellow anymore. Now it's really going to be almost flavorless.
Yeah.
The longer you go past 10 years.
Yeah, there's a certain point of diminishing returns where you start out with this great flavor profile that you like, and you say, hey, I just want to try aging them. Well, maybe you get some more of those subtle notes, and then eventually the subtle notes die out, and you just get ash, smoke, and there's nothing there, and you're like, well, what? This cigar sucks. No, it doesn't suck. You just aged it for too long.
Way too long. All right, so what if I'm doing a single cigar?
So a single cigar, the way I usually tell is by the yellow cello.
Perfect. That is
if it has cello on it.
Oh, that's true.
What if it doesn't have cello on it?
It'll mix flavors with all the other cigars inside.
It will, which is why Spanish cedar is so important, because it is very neutrally flavored. Hey. It's neutrally flavored, so to speak, and it won't impart a bunch. There's a difference between Spanish cedar and cedar wood, just regular cedar. A regular cedar has a very strong and distinct smell and taste. Spanish cedar does not.
It's a very neutralizing, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, if you mix flavors, now there's something to be said of if you put an acid blondie or a fat bottom Betty on either side of, let's just say, I don't know, a Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a different flavor in that Southern Draw Jacob's Ladder than you would if you didn't have those separated.
Yeah, I would advise anyone, even if you're not aging, just to separate flavored cigars compared to non-flavored cigars.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I actually, I also smoke the pipe with pipe tobacco, and I actually keep my flavored cigars with my usually stored similar to my pipe tobacco because pipe tobacco tends to be a lot sweeter anyways.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I store them right on top. I just store them in the nearby in the same humidor. And the pipe tobacco has a thicker wrapper, packaging, whatever you want to call it. You know, I don't buy it in tins. I have it in a pouch, so that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
All right. So, what would be the best, in your opinion? What would be the best cigar to age?
Typically, something that's going to be very full-bodied and thick. So maybe like a Churchill, maybe like a Pledge. That'd be good. Yeah, because it was pretty strong, pretty me.
Yeah. I know that I aged for a year. I aged the Pledge. I think it was for a year, and when I got it back, when I went back to it that next year, I was like, "Oh, this is a much more enjoyable smoke." It didn't knock me on my ass and give me a nicotine buzz that sent me into next week. It was very much more mellow, and I was able to enjoy the cigar a little bit more, and enjoy the flavor notes of the cigar a little bit more. I'll say I enjoyed it the first time. It's just knocked me on my ass.
You just got to be ready for it. That's all.
Yeah. You just got to be built up for it. But yeah, so I mean, a bad cigar is not going to go get better with age, though.
No, that's where I see a lot of like, I'm gonna age my cigars, dude. Like they'll go and get like a Connecticut that's already light in the britches, and then they try to age that, and it's already light in the britches. So how much more mellow can it actually get?
Flavorless. So you don't taste anything, and there's no nicotine. There's nothing there.
That's what I like doing, just burning the leaves.
Yeah. Now in Connecticut, I could see if you wanted to age it for like 3-4 months.
Yeah,
that'd be okay. That's fine. But when we talk about, I don't really consider 3 or 4 months really aging. What I consider aging is like a year or more.
Yeah.
And in all reality, like some cigar purists don't even consider you aging a cigar until 5 years has gone by.
I can see that.
Otherwise, you're just storing the cigars. Eventually going to get to them in your humidor.
Yeah.
As you rotate stock.
3 or 4 months is just something I forgot I even had this.
Yeah. Like, oh shit. I remember when I bought this and I let it rest and I put more cigars on top of it. Fuck, I forgot about this. Let's smoke it.
Oh, delicious.
This is good. I should have bought more of these. Too bad it was a limited release. Fuck.
Oh, that's me with the Friday the 13th Asylum. Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
3 or 4 months. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, I was aging it. I'm gonna go ahead and smoke that now.
Yeah. Aging is definitely a practice in patience. And what I find what tends to help me the most, and honestly, the reason I aged those ones that you and me smoked for 2 years was because I was saving it. I bought it for a specific event that was happening like 5 months down the road. COVID happened. So then the event got canceled. Well, it got pushed back a year. Then I was unable to go to that event. So I just left him in my humidor thinking that I'll get back to him eventually. And then next thing I knew, it had been 2 years, and I was like, well, this is as good a time as any. I might as well just go ahead and bring these out.
I wasn't mad.
I bet you weren't.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, right? So, because I had everything set up. I was ready to go on vacation, ready to go, because it was a wedding. It was my best friend's wedding. And I don't want to say it was his wedding, but it was his 10-year anniversary, and he was renewing his vows.
Ah, nice.
And they were doing actual ceremony. And I was like, well, hell, I'll just bring the cigar. It'll be great. Me and him will have a good time. We'll smoke. Yay. And ended up COVID happened. And that was supposed to be like May or April of 2020 or something like that. And then the world ended.
Put on your mask.
Yeah. Don't go outside. You will die. Never leave the house. But anyways.
Yes. So fresh, aging. We got that covered. I'm not in my 2/3 yet. I don't know about you.
Me neither.
All right. So I guess we'll take a short little break.
Come back, and I bet we'll be in our 2/3 by then.
I'm pretty sure we will be.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about followership. Because to be a good leader, you got to be a good follower.
Perfect.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't forget, we need to follow the podcast so we know when new episodes drop. All right, and welcome back to Leadership of the Leaf. Now, before we took the break, we were just talking about how to tell if your cigars are fresh and a few techniques on how to age your cigars. But now it's time for the leadership segment, and we're going to talk about followership. But before we dive into followership, Dice, are you in your 2/3?
I am in my 2/3, and you'll be happy to know that the fruit in the cocoa is now in the back. It's like, put it back there, and pepper and cedar are in the front.
Interesting. So it did turn aggressive a little bit.
Look, it's not a lot of. I would say it's more cedar than pepper, but it's definitely pepper there.
Interesting.
I'm waiting. Yep, puffing. There you go.
Puffing. I'm getting a lot of the earthier notes. The pepper is still there, as would be expected from a Steve Saka product, and the cocoa is kind of taken a back seat, but it's still delicious as always.
I expect nothing less.
Yes. All right, so followership, because you need to know how to be a good follower until it's time for you to step up and be a leader.
Correct. So without followers, there are no leaders.
Yeah, so followership is kind of two dimensions. It's a combination of two dimensions. There's engagement and critical thinking. Those are your two dimensions. So engagement usually range between kind of an active engagement, like, hey, yeah, I think that's a great idea, or to passive engagement, like, whatever you say, boss.
Critical thinking is more of the lines of, are you able to problem solve for yourself, or are you just kind of wait until you're like told?
Right, yeah. So are you independent or dependent, or really you could just say critical and uncritical?
Correct. All right.
So they fall into 5 types of followers. There's exemplary, conformist, passive, alienated, and pragmatist.
I'm glad you said that one because I could not say that to save my life.
I'm here for you, bud.
So, exemplary followership, it ranks high in both the active engagement and independent critical thinker, which pretty much means they think for themselves. They're willing to take the challenge. They're willing to challenge the leaders whenever a leader makes a call and they disagree with it. They're the ones that raise their hand and be like, you know what? There could be an alternate solution.
Yeah. I just actually had this problem in work where I made a plan. I said, hey, here's the plan. What do you think of it? And one of my guys said, hey, that just sounds good to me. Whatever you want. And then another guy goes, well, what if we did this instead? Wouldn't that take care of other things better? And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're 100% right. And so he was kind of showing that exemplary followership. He was thinking for himself. He was challenging me. Hey, boss, I think there's a better way to do it. He was challenging me respectfully. There's a way to be a dick about it. Hey, idiot, you forgot this. Like, okay, yeah, got it. I make a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Right. And then there's hey, I think this might actually be a better solution.
Yeah. Is proactively supporting the goals and the leader's decisions, even if you kind of disagree a little bit and you brought it up as your fellow follower did.
Yeah.
I mean, you're both going to the same direction. You both have the same beliefs, the same goals, the same alignment.
Right. Yeah. They're gonna support your goals and your decisions, and usually, they kind of your belief system is along the same line, and then they're gonna also assume responsibilities beyond what the minimum requirements and exert extra effort to accomplish those goals. We talked in the past, and I don't know if it was just you and me talking or if it was on the show, but we talked about the trend nowadays of quiet quitting.
Yes, I believe that was on the show.
Yeah. And it's like, it's basically where, you just do the bare minimum just to get by. Those are not showing. That's your bare minimum. So, people are like, oh, I did what my job said I had to do. Isn't that enough to get a paycheck? Yes and no. Is it really enough for you to get all of the paycheck? Did you actually earn all of your money that you got today?
Right. I see a lot of these exemplary followers. A lot of times you can see that they're going to be a future leader one day. They're going to be the ones, because they're already stepping up. They're already following how they're supposed to. They're doing the things. They're showing a good follower, and they just work well with others. You can just see that they're going to be a leader one day. Right.
And those are the kind of people that, they may be your second in command. They may be your in your circle of bosses. Hell, they could be a bottom rung of the totem pole for all I care. But you could see in them, you're like, that guy, that person. I want that person on my team. And it's just, they definitely work well with others, and they help lead, even though it's not in their duty title. They take on those jobs that, hey, I don't want to do this, but it's going to help me be a better worker if I take this this task on.
Right. The next one was a conformist followership. And a conformist is the high active engagement, but they're dependent, uncritical thinkers.
Yeah, they're very much, hey, yeah, boss, whatever you want to do. Yeah, sure. I think that sounds like a great idea. Hey, what, they're your yes people, the yes man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I call that squares in your circle. Those are the ones that wants to be the leader. They actually latch on to the leader and just tells them everything they want to hear. When in all actuality, that's not what we need all the time. What we need is the exemplary followership, not the conformist followership, because I could be going down the wrong path. I need somebody to kickstart me every now and then and be like, oh, hey, you ever thought about this?
Right.
Yeah, boss. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
They're the Dwight from The Office. The ones that are like jump up and yeah, I'm the assistant regional manager, the assistant to the regional manager. The same thing. No, it's not. But they're the people that just jump up and whatever the boss, even if the boss said something asinine, they're the ones that are like, yep, that sounds like a great idea. Hey guys, I think we should all just work Saturday and Sunday. Hey, I think that's a great idea, boss. Why? Why?
What the hell are you saying?
Yeah. I like to weed those people out by saying something completely off the wall and seeing who challenges me on it. I will say something that is just completely out of left field. No way in hell should we be doing this task this way. No way. And if I just look and see who challenges me on it.
I'm just going to follow you, sir, unquestionably, and follow all the directions you give me.
All right. Well, you're a loser, and I don't need you around. But I did everything you said. Yeah, that's the problem.
Jackass.
Yeah, we don't need those people. Not to say that they're not good workers, not to say that they don't have a usefulness to them, but in all reality, I mean, in a perfect world, everyone would be an exemplary follower.
Right. No,
but we don't live in a perfect world.
Correct.
So, I mean, the conformists have their place. You just got to be careful of, they sound good because, man, they are a great sounding echo chamber for you. They say everything you want to hear. And that's when you got to be careful, because if you're hearing everything you're saying and you're hearing it back, that's when you kind of go, I wonder if I surrounded myself with a bunch of yes men. And you sit there and you're trying to figure it out. And that's when you go, I want to say something completely off the wall. Hey, I think we should cut our staff by like half. Think we can still get the job done? Yes, sir. Yes. We'll make it happen. What the fuck are you talking? We have 5 people. You want me to cut down to 2? We'd still get the job done. The hell we would.
I appreciate the positivity, but come on, let reality set in just a little bit, sir.
Yeah, just one of those things, and that's the best way to kind of weed yourself out of those yes men. Some are, I see it a lot where some are getting a little bit smarter, where they're like, no, I don't think we should do that much. Maybe we could cut it out by like 2, keep you, me, and then one other person. It's like, no, I don't think so.
What's the next one?
Passive would be the next one. So this is low in active engagement and are dependent, uncritical thinkers. The sheeple, as I've heard people call them. Sheeple.
Yes. Just go with the flow.
Yeah. Hey, I did that spreadsheet you wanted for me, boss. Cool. What are you working on now? Oh, no, I'm not working on anything. What the fuck do you mean you're not working on anything? Well, you didn't tell me anything to do afterwards, so I finished I did a hell of a job on that spreadsheet, though.
Yeah. Let's just keep focused on all the great that I did with that one thing. Because I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to need you to do more to earn your fucking paycheck.
Yeah, they're the ones that you say do one thing and then they appear in your face and you're like, what the fuck are you doing now? I'm waiting for you to tell me what to do next. We've done this task like 80 times already. You know what to do next. Well, yeah. I was just waiting for you to tell me.
Why? Why?
Because I'm a loser, Bob, and I'm lazy.
Yeah. I talked with a friend. She's a manager of a deli, and she goes, and I talked to her, and she's picking my brain a little bit, and she goes, I just don't understand. She goes, I've written people up, for trying to basically be passive. I've written people up because they're not doing the job correctly, and then once they don't do the job correctly, they just say, well, apparently I just can't do it right, and just don't do anything else. because they messed up on one task that they've done 80 times. And she's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
They just sit there and pout.
Yeah, or they'll play on their phone or whatever, and it's just... And I said, I mean, unfortunately, it sounds like you have a bunch of losers in your section, and I said, you need to work on getting new hires for those people. Because they're just going to, in the end, they're just going to weigh you down.
Well, what I can't stand is the generation that does that, or the people, whoever does that. Whoever decides,
generation, you old fuck.
Whoever decides to do that with their life, then they get angry or upset because you yelled at them or you told them what they need to do. Can't you talking to me like that? Well, if you wasn't so passive and you did what you're supposed to do, I wouldn't be talking to you at all.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of videos on Tickety Talk, and people are going, "Oh, look, I did my minimum job requirements. Like, I don't understand why why my managers think that I have to do more. Like this should be my entire life." Listen, it's your job. 1, 2. If you maybe that doesn't fulfill you, maybe that job doesn't fulfill you, and that's okay. Not every job has to fulfill you. But if you're in a job that's just straight up not fulfilling you, it's probably time to find another job.
Yes.
And if you're refused to find another job, then you need to at least do a good job in the job that you're doing. I was always taught you earn the money that you bring home every day. By your actions, you earn that money. If you don't feel like, if you walk away and you feel like, man, I got one over on these guys. They're paying me so much money and I didn't do shit. You fucked up.
You can't be angry when you get let go.
Nope. Yeah. That's fine. You can do the bare minimums on the job, but you're setting yourself up to be the first on the chopping block.
Correct.
So just heads up. If you have to constantly give direction, before somebody will begin the next task, you probably have a passive follower, or you are a passive follower.
The next one is alienated followership. And this is a high independent critical thinker, but low in engagement. So I characterize these people as the ones that will spend hours thinking about how they can get out of doing the job instead of taking 15 minutes to get a job done.
Also known as toddlers.
The skeptical naysayers.
Oh, toxic people.
Yes.
These are ones that'll bring your work culture down. Yeah. These are the ones that gather around. They sit at their desk or in their cubicle or at the water cooler, and they're like, man, this job sucks. Can you believe the boss is making us do all of these spreadsheets? I can't believe they want us to do all of these spreadsheets. And then you go over there and you're like, what are you talking about? The spreadsheets take 20 minutes and there's 6 of them. Like, even 20 minutes, there's 6 of them. That's like, what, 2 hours? Like, that doesn't, they're like, they'll spend all the way till lunch bitching about how they have to do these fucking spreadsheets. And then after lunch, you're like, hey, did you get those spreadsheets done? They're like, nah, I guess I'm going to start on them now. Yes. I tasked you with this at fucking 8 o'clock this morning. It's now 1. The fuck have you been doing?
Yeah. These are the supposedly are going against the grain. They consider themselves mavericks and willing to oppose management.
Yeah, fuck the system.
Yeah. Pay me.
Attica. Anarchy.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you spend all day trying to figure out how to get out of work, and then at the end of the pay, you're looking for a paycheck.
Yeah. Those are the people that want to just sit there and not do anything and get paid for it.
Yes, that doesn't work. That's not called working. That's not a job.
That is called being lazy.
No,
I'm sorry.
They're just alienated.
Sure. Sure. And now alienated could come from they had a bad boss, they had a bad interaction with the work, they got their PTO denied for whatever reason. You know, that can alienate something. They got a bad performance review, something like that. Hey, I got skipped over for an award. This is bullshit. You can make alienated followers by not engaging with your followers.
Correct.
So be cautious of that, because if you start getting these naysayers, pull them aside. Hey, what's going on? Why are you so negative? It takes 20 minutes to do a spreadsheet. I asked you to do 6 of them at 8 a.m. It's 1 p.m. You haven't done any of them. What's up? What's going on? Why are we taking so long? Oh, well, you know, I'm really upset because I got passed over for a promotion. I'm really sorry that you feel that way, but here's why. You know, and you give them a rundown. Hey, I'm really sad that you got passed over for promotion as well, but it's not my decision. I have to, you know, I agree. You shouldn't have got passed over for promotion, but there's unfortunately not much I can do about it. I'm going to talk to the boss and see what we could have done better, and let's regroup and reattack.
Regroup, reattack, however you want. Your actions today have shown why you got passed over.
Exactly.
Grow the fuck up.
Then you have the pragmatist. Pragmatist. Yes, good job.
Thanks.
You can pronounce words. They have a moderate level of engagement and portray a moderate level of critical thinking. So usually, these people just want to maintain the status quo. They're the survivor. Yeah.
The one that kind of blends in the crowd.
Yeah. The person that you're like, who are you? And you're like, I'm Dave. I've been working for you for like 6 years. And you're like, oh, Dave, okay. What is it you do here, Dave? Oh, well, whatever you tell me to do. I mean, but they'll do what you say, and they'll think about it, but they don't ever really just stand out. They're never the first to jump up and down and say, hey, pick me for this assignment. Hey, I want to learn. I want to grow. Hey, whatever. But they're also not going to sit there and just bitch about it. They'll bitch while they do their work.
Yeah, it's just uncommitted worker bees. They're just kind of waiting around, see which direction things are going. If it's going good, then they're going to kind of jump on the good side. If it's going bad, then they're going to just fade to black so they don't get seen. You can't really blame them for anything, and you can't really praise them for anything.
Yeah, those people, though, for me, are the most dangerous situation imaginable. Because I know who the bitchers are. I hear it. I know who the alienated people are. I know who the passive people are because I constantly have to get onto them. I know who bitches, so I know the alienated. I know my exemplary leaders. Got it. I know my conformists because I've weeded them out. So if I'm doing cut downs, if I'm shrinking a place down and I'm trying to hire new people, or I'm looking to infuse fresh blood, and I don't recognize this person, I'm like, man, that guy, he does work. It's good, but it's not like the best. But he also bitches. Why do I keep him? Why do I keep paying him? Like, why do I pay this person who I don't even fucking know?
I had a worker when I was a mechanic. I had a worker. He was 100% pragmatist. Why can't I say that word? Pragmatist. Well, because I went out and I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he was like, oh, you caught me. I was like, caught you doing what? What are you talking about? I was putting a nut on and I tightened it down. Then I would loosen it all the way back off. And then I would tighten it back down. I was like, are you fucking serious right now? Are you fucking serious right now? You gotta be kidding me. Fucking get that shit put together and then pack up your little toys and we can have a conversation in my office.
Yeah. Those are the people that when you ask to help for moving, they pick up an empty box and they just keep carrying it in and out. letting everyone else do the work. They're like, look, see, I'm doing work, and they're just carrying an empty box in and out, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
When is the pizza gonna get here?
Oh, I need a whoo. I'll tell you what, I need a beer. I'll take a slice of that pizza and a beer if you got some, man. I am worn out. You've been carrying the same box. I know, because you left the labeled side out. And I don't have 16 boxes of towels, asshole.
Oh, my favorite people.
Oh, you caught that, huh? Yes, of course I caught you. Anybody who, if you pay attention, you'll know who these people are. And I guarantee you, if you're listening to this and you can't think of somebody, they've just flown under your radar. You need to pay closer attention and get out from behind your little desk and walk the floor, walk your office, whatever it is. I guarantee you'll find those people playing Centipede or scrolling through Facebook or whatever. And like, oh, the boss is coming. Oh, important stuff. This is important stuff. Yes, very important stuff to do over here in stapling papers. And you're like, bitch, how many staples that stack of papers need? It has 16.
What are you doing back here? This inventory has already been counted.
Yeah. Bad turnover, I guess. What the? No.
So, what are some of the ways to become effective followers? Essential qualities.
They got to manage themselves well. They have to manage themselves well, and manage themselves in both the prioritization. Oh, God, look at me.
Yeah.
Prioritization of tasks and time management.
I will
definitely
definitely
manage
agree.
themselves.
Yes, definitely agree. They're committed to the organization at hand, to the organization, to a certain purpose, principle, or the person outside of themselves, of course, to where they are actually part of the engagement of the team.
Yeah, I think team. If you look at like let's just say football team, if you're playing for the name on the back rather than the team, you're wrong. You're automatically wrong. If the coach has to constantly tell you what your assignment is, and you don't already know, even though you've gone over it 6 times in fucking practice from day one, you're wrong. You're automatically in the wrong, and you're close to getting cut.
Yeah.
But I know that sounds as cliche as that sounds. You got to be part of the team. You got to be committed to the team, and you got to believe to a certain extent that the team can achieve more than what has been set before them.
Yeah, focus maximum efforts towards the impact, the goal.
Right. Yeah. They also need to build their skills and their competence in those skills, and then focus on the amount of impact that they can generate. If you got a person who says, oh, I'm good with this certain set of skills that I have, and I don't want to go any further, that's not being a good follower. Yeah. And then you're also not training your replacement.
No, because what's going to end up happening is that person's going to get left behind. Their followership, they could have been exemplary at the beginning, but then they're going to kind of fall back towards maybe even alienate themselves, because they're only one-trick pony sort of concept. I'm really good at this part, but I don't really want to do the other things because I'm not really good at that.
Right. I just had to talk today with a worker, and he said, why am I doing this task? Last time I did this task, you found like 18 mistakes that I made. Exactly. That's exactly the reason why you're doing it more, because obviously you need more practice at this job.
So let's focus on getting 17.
Yeah. Let's focus on not sucking at life today.
Be courageous.
Yeah. Honest, credible, come on, something. If you're honest with me, I could work miracles to an extent. But if they just come up and they're like, hey, I'll be honest with you, boss. I don't want to be here. I don't really care. And I'm just here to earn a paycheck. All right. Number 1 on my list to get the fuck out. Yeah. I'm looking out for you to leave.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Or join. You either join the team or you leave.
Well, I like the word that we chose, courageous. I like that because, like, hey, Bobby boy, here's a new task. I know you haven't done it yet. I have confidence in you. Well, I really think I can do it too. Good. Good. Let's go. I'm glad you have the courage to take on this task.
Yeah. No, I'm not expecting it to be perfect. You've never done this task before.
But you're willing to give it a try.
Hey, I'm about it. I could work with those people. I could train those people. Hey, I don't think I could do. I don't. It's better than going. Hey, Sally. I know you've never done this job before, but I think you'd be a good. I think you could do this. Oh, I don't know. I just don't think I could do that. I'm really good at this other stuff. Right? No, I understand you're really good at that stuff, but I need you to try this other thing because, Dave's going on leave and he's going on vacation. And I really need you to kind of help step in and cover some of his responsibilities just for like the 2 weeks. Let's try it out. Oh, I don't think I could do that. I think you better pick somebody else. I'm just going to screw it up. Okay, I will pick somebody else then. And then when you wonder why you're not getting promoted, there's the reason.
That's it. You're no longer credible.
Right. Not even courageous at that point. Fuck, I just look at you as a loser now, taking up oxygen on my team. You're using up oxygen that my other team members that are better than you and more courageous and credible and honest than you could be using.
That pretty much sums up followership. Not sums up. There's more to followership than that. But I mean, we're just, touching the bases of different concepts and ideas that we've approached. So, of course, before anyone can become a leader, they have to be a follower. At some point in time, all the great leaders that you know today, at some point in time, they had to be a follower. So,
right.
So I thought it was good to touch on it.
No, I think it was a great idea. I think it was, it's even the president of the United States, from George Washington all the way to Joe Biden, at one point had to be a follower.
Correct. They didn't just wake up and was like, I'm a leader.
Yep. Beam of light came down, struck me in the head. I know everything. I know exactly how to be a leader. Got it.
One good thing about followership is it kind of takes you through the bumps and bruises of becoming a leader.
Yeah. And if you have good leaders that allow you to grow and allow you to experience failure in a healthy way, not just kick you to the curb and curse you out, but actually let you experience failure in a healthy way, that just does more for you to become a leader than anything else ever could.
Correct, sir. So, are you in your final third?
It went out.
Ah.
I was talking too damn much.
Mine is kind of not burning the greatest for me right now. I think I need to pick up. Yep, yeah, sorry, listeners. I didn't buy 2 this time.
You. How dare you? Are you in your final third?
I am, sir. I am. And my final third, Pepper, Aggressive has picked up his name. Pepper, Cedar. If I really swish the smoke around, fruit. But I mean, that's probably coming from my Hennessy now that I think about it. But Pepper and Cedar. Pepper took the forefront. Cedar is in the back.
Okay. I'm getting my earthy, peppery notes. Cocoa's making a comeback. It's smooth, rich, delicious, and yeah, the spice is enhanced by this Caribbean rum. It's very good, very good.
Now, by all means, I'm not saying my cigar is bad. There's no bad cigars. Not saying that. I'm just saying that this cigar is definitely a tryer. Like, buy 1 or 2, maybe 3. Give it a good try.
Yeah.
I would not buy a box of these.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe
I should have got the passive.
Maybe. What, is it just too much pepper for you?
Yeah, the aggressive part of it, I'm assuming. is what they're referring to is definitely pepper. Pepper on pepper.
So, on a strength scale, 1 to 10.
Well, it started off at like I'll say 4 or 5, but now that I'm past the halfway point and I'm in the final third, I would say close to an 8.
Ooh, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
And it's only a medium. It's supposed to only be a medium.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Would you consider it a medium or a medium to full?
I definitely would consider it medium to full now.
Interesting. Everything is always, subjective, as always.
True. I could just have a little bitch palate. Who knows?
Well, we're not all made equal. Oh, wait. No, the Constitution says. Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Independence. Fuck. Somebody's going to catch that on me and be like, I can't believe he said that.
I'm writing my congressman now.
I'm writing my school person. Need to be teaching history in the classes. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, the Sin Compromiso is all, as always, just delicious. Probably by far one of my favorite sticks.
I will agree with you on that one. It is definitely one of your favorite sticks.
One of my favorite. Thanks for that, bud.
No, I really enjoyed it myself. I really, really did enjoy it.
Yeah. So we talked about the aging of cigars. We talked about the freshness, how to tell if a cigar is fresh.
Yeah.
Went over some leadership by talking about followership.
And all the different types of followers, the scumbags and the scumbags. Nah. Exemplary, conformist, passive, alienated, pragmatist.
Pragmatist.
Almost had it.
You fucking suck. One day you'll learn how to enunciate and pronunciate some words. I say pronunciate as I pronounce words.
It's all good. The survivor, the hider in the crowd.
Yes, very much so. But until next time, I'm Austin, and I just want to remind everybody, don't be an asshole.
And I'm Dice, and I definitely will catch you guys next time.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening to Leadership of the Leaf. The comments and opinions expressed by the host and guests does not reflect the opinions of those that broadcast this show, nor does it reflect any of our affiliates.